So this is from CNBC. Why? And this is why Google and Facebook are funding prefab home startup factory, prefab home startup factory OS. And I'll give you the summary. It's because they've caused the housing crisis. Big tech has caused the housing crisis. When you watch it, there's a video. This is a short article, but then there's a 10-minute video, which I did watch and grab some highlight from, but I'll read the little article that they have. So again, this is from CNBC. The affordable housing crisis in the United States continues to be a problem, and it's only getting worse. Dun, dun, dun. Nationally, there is a shortage of about 7 million affordable homes for our nation's more than 11 million extremely low-income families, according to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. So remember, was it, Ray? It was not Khan. It was Joel. No, not Joel Kahn. Who was it that mentioned we're 3.8 million homes low?
Oh, Lawrence Yun.
Lawrence Yun, and that's homes. This is specifically stating 7 million affordable homes. So even if 3.8 million came onto the market, they still wouldn't be affordable. There still wouldn't be enough for the, as it says, 11 million extremely low income families. Right. So some areas are worse off than others, with the San Francisco Bay Area, the heart of the U.S. tech industry, among the worst. Factory-built modular homes. So not, we've mentioned on the show multiple times, not 3D printed.
Home, not a 3D printed home.
Right. Factory-built modular, and they're pretty legit. If you look these up, these are pretty cool. They're gaining traction as a possible solution and could reduce the cost of construction by 20 to 40%. Entekra, Entekra, Blue Homes, BLU, and Blockable, Blockable. Gotta have a cool name. They're already using this building technique, while Connect Homes, spelled like Connect, which is led by a former Apple exec, has raised $27 million to do the same. Google and Facebook specifically have invested in another company, Factory OS, which is building affordable homes in the Bay Area. So I started watching the video, and the first thing you kind of notice is it's not necessarily single family yet. It's more apartments and multifamily stuff.
Multifamily prefab home solutions.
Yes. And it's essentially, they build, giant rectangles, giant squares and rectangles and cubes, and put them together. They do it in the factory because 60 to 75% of the cost is in the construction.
Right.
So if they can prefab it and then you just bring it in and start stacking things like some Legos, that's going to bring it down quite a bit. Now, it's not necessarily not using wood. They still have the wood costs and all that stuff, which are higher than they have been. But it also notes that the cost of homes are, rising roughly 10% a year, and the housing market can't keep up. And then the CEO of Factory OS mentions that $800,000 in building costs for new construction in the Bay Area. So just to build a home costs $800,000. You got to sell it for over $1 million, right?
Yeah, at least. So David brings up a good question about the prefabs. How do they stand up against natural disasters? I'd like to ask, we have an expert in the audience who's joined us via Facebook.
Nice.
And she said the topic I talk about all the time, affordable houses. So Christina M. Smallhorn has a YouTube channel kind of dedicated, I would say, to real estate, but also to affordable housing. She talks a lot about manufactured housing and modular homes. So Christina says, yes, modular homes are built to better standards than traditional built homes. So that's interesting. We should have her on the show one time to talk about this stuff, even though she's not a bearded man of real estate. She's a wealth of knowledge, especially on prefab homes. Michael Elizabeth Brodell says, so what lenders are lining up to finance these home solutions for the poverty population? Well, so right now, as Dan was saying, it's more of the investor side because it is multifamily. But I think in the future, you'll start to see more options because there's just so much in the marketplace. Lenders have to turn a little bit.
They have to. It's like anything else. They have to open up to this. And then
if there's enough demand, they will. But that's their concern is the same reason why you're not going to get a loan for a timeshare, right? It's the secondary market. So their concern has always been, well, yeah, we'll let you build that container home and we'll give you the money for it. But then when you have to sell in 2 years, what's going to happen? Is someone going to buy it? Are they going to be able to find financing for it? So that was
Right.
always a big concern for them, which that's understandable.
Yeah.
But I think as more and more of them hit the market, as more of the tiny homes hit the market and the modular manufactured homes, I think you're going to have more lenders that view them differently, especially if they have a permanent foundation, their permanent home. Melissa Marr says, I want that printed house, like we talked about the other day. It was pretty cute. Colin JJ Cameron joins us. Hey, buddy. I don't know if that's Colin or Al Borland. You got to check out his Facebook page to know what I'm talking about there. He said, I hear she has a wealth of costumes, though, and could probably accommodate the beard requirement. Talking about Christina M. Smallhorn. That would be pretty fun. Okay. Michael Elizabeth Rodell says lenders have not opened up to barn dominiums. They haven't yet, but I think they will as the demand is there for the secondary market. I think they will. All right. So let's get to the next article.
Well, I want to say, continue the conversation down low if you guys want, but I want to know thoughts on what do you think this is going to do? Is it going to help the market? Is it going to be a market at all? And then add in the 3D printed homes, because those, I believe, because I think Melissa shared or someone shared that in New York, there was a spot where a builder's building these 3D printed homes. And I believe they're the first of their kind in the United States. And in the area they're building, this 200,000+ or roughly around there was extremely good deal, like a very good deal. So interesting stuff. Continue the conversation down below and on Clubhouse.
And in the Be More Contributors group.